In the gig world, the topic of Proposition 22 in California is going to be a hot topic for the next 30 to 40 days until the people vote. I came across this great article in the San Diego Tribune. I'm going to leave you the link below. And it says Proposition 22 would let companies like Uber and Lyft skirt laws they should follow. And I want every driver, whether you yes or no on 22, to get all the facts, right? To get everything in before you make a decision. Now, in this article, they say, this individual says, I work for Uber and Lyft. The companies give me assignments, collect money for my services, set my pay, and can fire me at any time. We know that feeling, right? I'm not an independent businessman. I can't establish my own prices. I can't build up a stable of regular customers. I can't advertise my services. I work on the company's terms, take it or leave it. These are very, very realistic words that you and I can relate to. Yet, Uber and Lyft insist that I and the tens of thousands like me across California who do all of the work from which they make all the money are independent contractors, right? I need to reiterate this. I need to say this again. Yet, Uber and Lyft insist that I and the tens of thousands like me across California, these drivers, who do all the work from which they make all the money are independent contractors. That's what they tell you you are. That is a bogus argument, ladies and gentlemen. And the courts have seen through it. A Superior Court judge in San Francisco recently summarized the company's position. It flies in the face of economic reality and common sense. Having been unable to pull the wool over the eyes of judges, the legislature and the governor, Uber and Lyft, are taking one last stab at trying to exempt themselves from the same laws that govern every other employer in California. They are now trying to pull one over on voters. Don't fall for it. I've added that to the language. Don't fall for it. I didn't say that there, but I say don't fall for it. Along with DoorDash and two other app-based companies, Uber and Lyft are spending $180 million in an attempt to pass a ballot initiative they wrote for themselves, Proposition 22. If you look at one of my other videos that I made a few days ago, Masters of Deception, they have hired the lobbyists to write the language to convince you, to make you think that you are an independent contractor and that they have their best interest. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to fall personally for yes on 22. I'm voting no on 22. And it's not the best of the solution, but it gives us a lot of bargaining power to get way, way better deals. If it were to pass, Uber and Lyft would never have to pay a minimum wage or overtime or provide workers with unemployment insurance or workers' compensation. They would never pay a dime into their workers' social security accounts. The companies say that Proposition 22 would provide historic protections for drivers, but that's just campaign propaganda. That, my friends, is just campaign propaganda. The fact is that they put these provisions in their initiative just for window dressing, to make it seem like they are offering something of substance in exchange for getting a free pass from having to follow the law. I could not have said it better. For instance, they say that under Proposition 22, drivers would be paid at least 120% of the minimum wage, but read the fine print. They would pay only for what they call engaged time, meaning the time spent picking up and delivering passengers. So don't be fooled. That only works out to $5.65 an hour on average. They would continue to pay drivers nothing for time spent cleaning and disinfecting cars, fueling their vehicles, or simply waiting for the next call. That is a bit like a restaurant paying its cook only for time spent preparing meals, but not for the time spent cleaning pots and pans, fetching ingredients, or waiting for the next meal order. Great example. In the real world, What Uber and Lyft are offering is a sub-minimum wage. Or consider the provision in Proposition 22 that promises a system to pay drivers who are injured on the job. And trust me, it can be a dangerous job. What they propose is to limit to 2 years the amount of time they would pay disabled drivers and to cap medical expenses. Under the law that protects all other workers, there are no such time limits or caps. They say Proposition 22 will allow drivers to retain their flexibility, but the fact is that offering rides for hire, which is their business after all, is a flexible business. Demand is always higher certain days of the week and hours of the day. When finally forced to follow the law, Uber and Lyft will have to make flexible shifts available to meet demand. We drivers are little guys. We didn't have stock options like company executives had when both companies went public last year, raising billions of dollars. Like most folks, we work to pay our bills, support our families, and to get by. You can relate to that. All we ask is a fair deal, to be treated like the workers we are in the same way all other workers are treated. For us, Proposition 22 is a raw deal. Please vote no. So I will be voting no because I believe it's far better than yes, right, what they're trying to sell. But to leverage and put additional pressure with voting on no, right? And Californians need to remember Uber failed to pay $413 million into that social fund. You bailed them out during the pandemic, right? That's why Californians are paying more and more taxes, because they're always bailing out these companies that are not paying into the system. So the average California, I'm appealing to as well, vote no. Don't bail out Uber and Lyft. To the drivers, I'm appealing to you. Vote no and put additional pressure on Uber and Lyft, right? We can do way better. We can negotiate way better. We can get a far better deal, far better pay. To get paid 30 cents per mile and at 120% of the minimum wage only for the driving hours, which only equates to $5.65, you are going backwards, my friends. Because we fought hard for AB5, we have the multiplier today. We can choose our destinations in California, and we're better off than we were in 2019. We're making more money now, even during the pandemic times. People are making more money than they were making full-time in 2019. That's a fact, right? So load up the bases here on no, push for a better deal. You deserve better, and don't just sell out and buy into that fantasy that they're trying to sell you. Thank you very much. And at this point, I also want to give my sponsor, Cover, Kover, a shout out. I'm sure you've heard me talk about them. Cover offers the best rideshare protection plan out there. You've got your car insurance, you've got your medical insurance. Go out and get yourself a protection plan. You get 1 month free if you sign up under my link. Play around with their dashboard. Look at what they have to offer. It's basically a protection plan. I just had an injury. If you're in hospital, they kick in 80% of your lost income. If your car's in the auto body shop, they kick in 80% of your lost income. If you get deactivated, they have a company called Legal Rideshare that goes out there and defends you. All of these different protections that are built in: paid time off, sick leave, 24/7 health services, legal protection, automatic mileage tracking, all of these benefits starting at $7 a month. Go and check it out below, and please leave your comments, yes or no, on 22. Have a great day, my friends.